Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to start a new series. This is going to be What If Deku Was a Full-Blooded Saiyan from Universe 7. It's just going to be called What If Deku Was a Saiyan. So this is going to be like a part 0 that explains basically how he got there and why both of his parents are human when he's a full Saiyan. So basically, his parents were at Universe 7 on planet Vegeta before it blew up, and like a month before Frieza asked for everyone to come back, they took their baby to kind of bring him to another planet since he was born weak, but just in a way that why his parents brought him to another planet was because they wanted to bring him to a planet where they could train him at first. A planet where there would be a full moon practically every week. Let's say there's one. But during their travels, they passed through a wormhole, and they ended up in the My Hero Academia universe, but stranded on a small planet in the middle of nowhere. In that place, what they found was, um, well, if you remember in Dragon Ball Z Kai, it was said that Boo absorbed two of the Grand Kai, leaving Shin alone, but killing a third one, which was a girl. In this what if, this girl was actually left to die by Boo, passed but got transported to the universe of My Hero Academia, and basically made herself a home on that planet where the two Saiyan landed. When they arrived, she asked them who they were and what species they were. They explained what happened, well, that they were trying to get to a certain planet, but something happened and they got here. They said that they weren't really the warrior type, and that what they wanted to do was bring their son to a planet where he could be trained before going back. Then she tells them, yeah, well, you're not really going back to your planet. This isn't even the same universe that you were in. So, or you can find a new planet to live on, or you can simply go away. So they decided to try and find a planet to live on, which is Earth, during the time that the Quarks were there. Deku will be the exact same age as in the anime, so in this one, Inko actually cannot have kids. Katsuki was born once again a little earlier than Deku was, so he's already a bit old. In that moment, Deku's about like 2 or 3 months old. So they went there. They placed the name of their quirks as something that was actually. Let's say they just said, yeah, well, we have around this about the same quirk, but we're not in the same family. But both of them are called the same thing. and it's called Saiyan. We didn't choose the name, it was chosen by the first one who got that quirk. Basically, they were lying just to kind of keep that. When they had to explain what their power was it was basically, well, with our tail, if we have them and that we look at the moon, we become giant apes that are 10 times stronger than us. If you cut them, it won't happen. Um, every time they are hurt or in a fight and get close to death and are healed, they grow stronger, and that's basically it. So they don't even know about Super Saiyan. For them, it was just a legend. So yeah, they made their life. Them and they decided to kind of inhabit the place. Let's say in the same apartment complex as Inko and Hisashi. So they know each other. They talk a lot. Most of um Deku's real parents decided to try to become heroes in this world. So for like until Deku's like 1.5 about around that time, he has met Katsuki. He was already said to have his quirks since yeah, he has Saiyans are born with tails. Basically, when he gets hurt, he becomes a bit stronger. So yeah, when Deku was born, let's say he had a power level of like 4, which is stronger than what Goku had. I'm gonna say his name was still Izuku, and basically they didn't really have family names, so they just kind of made one. Anyway, he's not going to keep that one. It's going to be Izuku Midoriya because, well, like I was saying, while he was about 1.5 years old, both of his parents met with All for One and got killed by him because he tried to take their quirks, but he wasn't able to. So he decided to just kill them off since they could be a problem later. So Inko and Hisashi, knowing the kid, knowing the parents, and well, since they basically already took care of him most of the time when his parents were doing hero work, they decided to adopt him. So they adopted him, they changed his name to Midoriya, so now Izuku Midoriya. Um, this time he will still have the nickname Deku, but not the one, the meaning that Bakugo gave it, since it is said to have two meanings. One is the one that Bakugo was using, and then there's the second one that Ochako pointed out, which was something like, well, it was something positive. So in this one, he's going to have the same nickname, but for the other meaning. So yeah, he grew up with them. Bakugo age, and when he got his quirk, he did become a little proud of himself and with pride, but Deku was stronger than him because of him being a Saiyan. So over time, Deku kept getting stronger, and if Bakugo tried to bully someone, Deku would literally put him back in his place. So this time, Katsuki is actually a pretty nice guy. The only time he actually get mad and insult people if you insult his friends or people that cannot defend themselves. In this one, he doesn't see people without quirks as weak because Izuku basically said if anyone trained, they can become strong. So it doesn't matter if someone is quirkless or not, they just have to train to get what they want. So Bakugo literally has the same mentality than that, and so the two are basically friends. So yeah, he doesn't really remember his parents since he was young, but he knows that both of them were heroes. His mother was stronger than his dad, and during the year that they were on Earth, she was able to go up to being level 10. Not level 10, but in the top 10 at rank 10 for the heroes. His dad stayed low a little more. They were basically in the same agency. They were the two only one in that agency. So when they died, it did kind of left a mark on people. A lot of people didn't know that they had a kid, but All Might did. Because let's say they talked to him and Izuku's mother talked a lot about that, and she told him about her son. So when they died, he did go meet Inko, Hisashi, and Izuku, and was telling him that his parents were a good friend of his. So yeah, All Might knows Deku. He knows that he was the son of a great hero. Well, of two great heroes. And sometimes and sometime All Might was coming to visit him to help train him because his parents explained to All Might that they basically to or train or get hurts to get stronger. So yeah, he kind of went and helped him train, which also helped All Might get a little stronger too. So when he faced against All for One, he knew that it was the guy who killed Nana and the Deku's parents, which basically now it's Uncle All Might for him. So All Might, like I said, was a bit stronger this time, so the injury wasn't as bad for All Might. He did still get it, but this time he has a longer time limit and more power. Compared to All for One, who basically is in the same exact state. So then later down the line, Deku, after a bit, was visited by someone that he never met before. It was basically the Kai that I said was brought to this world. And she was basically saying that she knew his parents, that she visited them sometimes, and that's about like after that All Might was hurt, he met up with both All Might and Izuku at once, and she basically healed All Might, because if I remember, they do have that capacity to heal people. So she healed him. She told Izuku that he has to be a great warrior. And she also showed them, well, told them about something. She said it was a legend, but she actually knows it is there. She says there's a tower that goes up in the sky. That over the tower there is a floating building. Well, some kind of island made of rock, where there is someone that can train people and is extremely powerful. Yeah, she is a lot stronger than what I'm going to do, but for Earth standards, it is kind of strong. Since, yeah, what she's talking about is a guardian that, first of all, grows sensu beans, second of all, is a Namekian, and third of all, there is a time chamber, and for the last thing, there are Dragon Balls. Basically, what's happening is that for a while, something happened and there was a portal in Universe 7 that if anyone was passing through it, they were sent to this world. Well, this universe, which won't have a number because, yeah, I'm just going to call it My Hero Academia world. But yeah, so an Namekian, a Kai, and 3 Saiyans were sent there. The Namekian decided to become kind of guardian of Earth in this world, just like Kami did in Universe 7, Earth. So, since Namekian can live over 1,000 years, he would still be there way longer, and he basically trained in the time chamber for a while. So she explains where it is, well, in a specific direction where it is, and then leaves. All Might is healed. He has his full power. All for One doesn't know that at all. He thinks All Might is still hurt. So All Might is full strength, no time limit, no nothing. And they went to meet Kami. So basically, Kami explained to both of them what he is because he knew of the Saiyan in his universe. He explains the legend of Super Saiyan, that he heard about that their race, and he explains for the Dragon Ball. Then he says, if you want, I can train you here. So Deku, most of the time that he's supposed to spend with Uncle All Might, both him and Deku are basically training with an Namekian. When he talked about, like, this is way later. He didn't talk about the Dragon Balls for a while. So now it's about when Deku's 12. So about 1 year, well, 1 year before the start of the anime, um, he basically trained hard enough to be about the strength of Goku before Reddit attacked. And this is really strong for humans. All Might's about a 2000 if we count it in power level, which for human is pretty amazing. For a kid, 300 and something is practically impossible. 300, I mean. About 400. Just under that, in fact. So he explains to them about the Dragon Ball, then he says that those Dragon Ball can make three wishes. He basically calls him Shenron also. He says that you can make three wishes. You cannot make like revive this person once. He dies again and you ask it again, he won't be able to do it. You need to make the wish. If you want to revive someone, you have to make that wish before 1 year has passed. At that point, you cannot revive them. And he explains that the dragon does have a limit on what he can do, even though the legend says an unlimited amount. Like, this Namekian got sent to Earth like 400 years ago for them, like 450 or something. So he knows about quirks, stuff like that. So yeah. So Deku's strong, he's able to do that, and he was told about the time chamber, which doesn't have a limit, and just like for Dragon Ball, it's 1 year inside, 1 day outside. But he thinks of something. Deku's intelligent, compared to most Saiyan, who are mostly reckless or only thinks about battle and their stomach. Deku asks if he can use the Dragon Ball for something, which Kami tells him you're gonna have to go and look for them. Which Deku says okay. So basically, they are scattered all around the world. Deku and All Might can both fly with ki control, since they both train under him for a long time. All Might is interested in what's going to happen, so he basically goes and looks for them too, going their separate ways. Basically, before doing that, they go tell Inko Hisashi is working overseas in this one also. So Inko's alone at home. Izuku and All Might tells her that they're going camping for a while. He wants to show him something. Just so that, yeah, she tells All Might, yeah, but he has school for the entire week. And he says, oh, I'm just going to go and say that I'm there, and says that I'm bringing my nephew to meet people. I'm pretty sure they're going to understand. Which he then does, which everyone that didn't know basically, well, he didn't say it in front of everyone, but Bakugo knows that. All Might is basically Deku's uncle. Deku knows Melissa and Shield. And he just basically said to the teacher and director that he's bringing his nephew to go camping. So is it alright if he skips the week? And they're basically like, for the first hero, he could skip the month if he wanted to. All Might just said, no, the week's going to be okay. So afterward, they pack. They basically know how. Deku was left in the forest for a bit, so he learned how to hunt, fish, and stuff like that. So if they want, both of them can just literally go and hunt animals, or they know what tree they can take food from. So they go looking for the Dragon Balls, and let's say that none of the Dragon Ball were actually nobody had a Dragon Ball. Kami basically told them about the approximative place they are. And yeah, I'm just going to call him Kami. So they basically go looking for them, get them all, and goes back to the lookout before going to make their wish. When Deku summon Shenron, Shenron is going to ask him what are his wishes, and Deku basically makes the wish. The first wish to make is for him and All Might to not age in the time chamber. The second wish is that while they're in the time chamber, they do not need to eat, drink, or sleep. And for the last is that while they're in the time chamber, no matter what damage they get, it instantly starts healing, no matter how bad it is, or even if they would get killed. This is something that I'm really asking myself how nobody even thought about that during Dragon Ball, since basically they could train for like an entire year outside and come out as if they didn't age a day. Training 24/7. So basically he asked that for both him and All Might, which the dragon did, and Kami said, I never would have thought of that. You are intelligent. So let's say there's like 2 days left before they have to go back, and they use it in the time chamber to have 2 years to train. So Deku is strong. All Might is stronger than his prime. And also All Might decided to give Deku one for all. But Deku told him not for now, because stuff could happen where you would still be needed. So he accepts that answer. Night Eye knows about Deku. He also knows that Deku's parents were good heroes, and that he basically is now All Might's nephew. So All Might giving all for one for all to Izuku doesn't really bother him this time. So yeah, basically after that, for the next year, every time school ends, he goes train with All Might in the time chamber for a while, like a month or two at a time. And basically at the start of the anime, when the teacher looks around at the students that are going to be going to UA, nobody laughs either Deku or at Bakugo, since both of them are a little powerhouse. Deku's capable of fighting pretty much, well, at the moment he can basically dish a massive amount of damage, use Key Blast, fly, stuff like that. And yeah, that's where I'm going to end it, before the 10 months of training. So this was part 0 of What If Deku Was a Saiyan. And hope you liked it, hope you liked the twist that I made. Well, not the twist, but the way I made it. And if you have any complaints or want to see different things in this series, just tell me in the comment section, and I'm gonna try and see what I can do. Natsu,